right? In last class also we discussed the buoyancy and buoyant force and related problems also we did. Okay, now we will discuss one by one. So buoyant force or buoyancy means the weight of the, here whenever the body is submerged in a liquid, whenever the body is submerged in a liquid, because of pressure, in case of the body, the liquid under equilibrium, in a liquid which is under equilibrium, when the body is submerged, then because of pressure difference at the top and bottom, some force acts on the body submerged in a liquid, fully or partially, due to liquid, due to pressure difference at the top and bottom, acts on the body in vertical upward direction. That is called buoyant force or buoyancy, no? That is called buoyant force or buoyancy. Okay, buoyant force or buoyancy is because of here this buoyant force or buoyancy is also called as the thrust on the body due to pressure difference. Thrust on the body due to pressure difference. Okay, here for example, the force acts on the body. The force acts on a body which is submerged, fully or partially, in a liquid, due to pressure difference, is called buoyant force or thrust on the body due to liquid. Thrust on body due to liquid. Thrust on the body due to liquid. Okay, here this is the buoyant force acts on a body is the, this is numerically equal to effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body. This is numerically equal to effective weight of liquid displaced by the this is very important note point. Here the buoyant force acts on a body is no doubt because of pressure difference exactly at opposite faces. This is numerically equal to effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body when submerged fully or partially. Effective weight means, suppose if the liquid in a beaker is at rest, when the body is kept on the surface of liquid, it submerges fully or partially, and if it is also under equilibrium, in such case there is no motion in the liquid, there is no motion in the, there is no motion of the beaker also along vertical direction or along horizontal direction. In such case, whenever the beaker is under equilibrium, in such case the effective weight of the liquid is equal to effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body is equal to weight of liquid displaced by the body only. But whenever the beaker is moving either upwards or downwards or along horizontal direction with certain acceleration, in such case the effective weight of the liquid we have to consider. Okay, here one example I want to discuss. Example 1. Suppose in a beaker, liquid is there. In this liquid, one body is submerged, just submerged. One body is just submerged here. One body just submerges. In this case, what is the, it is floating. So in this case, what is the effective weight of the, okay, suppose it is fully submerged. It is fully submerged like this. Okay, what is the effective weight of the body? Here, no doubt, as the vessel is at rest, vessel in which the liquid is taken, that is at rest. That's why acceleration is equal to 0 and velocity is also equal to 0. Even 0, it is not equal to 0, it makes no difference. Okay, but whenever acceleration becomes 0 means whenever the beaker is at rest or beaker is moving upwards or downwards with constant velocity, in that case acceleration is 0. In this case, What is the apparent weight? What is the buoyant force acts on the body? In this case, buoyant force acts on the body. Buoyant force acts on the body or thrust on the body. Buoyant force acts on body or thrust on the body. Thrust on the body. Buoyant force acts on the body or thrust on the body is equal to effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body. Effective weight of liquid displaced by the body. Displaced by the body. What is the effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body? Effective weight is equal to, you see, here if the volume of the body is capital V, then whenever the body is completely submerged in the liquid, the same amount of volume of the liquid is displaced from this place now. That's why volume of the liquid displaced is equal to volume of the body into density of liquid displaced into Z. As the vessel is at rest, the liquid displaced by the body is also at rest. Whenever the body is submerged in a liquid completely, whatever the liquid displaced, that is also at rest only. That is also at rest or moving with uniform velocity or constant velocity upwards or in any direction. In such case, the effective weight of the liquid is equal to volume of the liquid into effective gravity, acceleration, G only. Okay, if the vessel moving upwards with certain acceleration, if the vessel moving upwards with certain acceleration, in such case, so in this first case, when A is equal to 0, that means acceleration is equal to 0, then this one. Next B, when beaker moving upwards with uniform acceleration A, comma, then buoyant force acts on the body. Buoyant force acts on a body or thrust acts on the body due to pressure difference is equal to, here how much, tell me? It is equal to effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body. Already I said, whenever the beaker is at rest, at the top, the pressure is equal to pressure due to the height of the liquid column. At this point, pressure is equal to pressure due to this pressure at this point due to this height of the liquid column and atmospheric pressure also. Here, at this point, atmospheric pressure acts and pressure due to height of the liquid column. At this point, atmospheric pressure plus pressure due to height of the liquid column. Height of liquid column is this one. The difference between them is the pressure difference across them into area of cross section gives the net force acts on the body in vertically upward direction. Because this surface is at more depth, that's why the force due to pressure at this point is more than the force due to pressure at this point in downward direction. That's why there is a net force acts on the body in a vertical upward direction, which is equal to the effective weight of the body, Okay, so here you see, whenever the beaker is moving upwards with certain acceleration, in this case, what is the buoyant force? In this case, tell me, what is the effective weight of liquid displaced by the body? You see, at the place of the body, whenever the vessel is moving upwards with certain acceleration, in that case, what is the effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body? That is only the buoyant force. Or due to pressure difference at the top and bottom, whatever the force acts on the liquid, that is the buoyant force. In this case, tell me, what is the pressure difference at the top and bottom? If the beaker is moving upwards, then the liquid is also moving upwards. That's why what is the pressure at this point and what is the pressure at this point? Pressure at the top is equal to P naught plus H rho into G plus A. Pressure at this point is equal to P naught plus H rho, it is say H1, it is say H2. H2 rho into G plus A. Pressure difference is equal to rho Z into H2 minus H1 into G plus A. H2 minus H1 is equal to this height of the body into G plus A. Okay. So buoyant force you will get effective weight of liquid displaced by the body means volume of the liquid displaced volume of the liquid displaced into density of the liquid into effective acceleration G plus A whenever the vessel is moving upwards. When vessel is moving upwards, then this is the effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body. Already we know whenever the body is moving upwards with certain acceleration, then what is the effective weight of the body means m of G plus A. No? Similarly, whenever the body is submerged in a liquid, whatever the liquid here that is displaced by this body. So what is the effective weight of liquid displaced by the body? That is the net force acts on the body opposed due to pressure difference at the top and bottom. That is equal to buoyant force. Suppose if the beaker comes down with an acceleration A in downwards direction, then effective weight of the body or thrust on the body, buoyant force or thrust, buoyancy or thrust on the body, THRUST, thrust on the body, thrust on body, FB is equal to this one. When the beaker is moving downwards with acceleration A, then in that case, thrust on the body or effective buoyant force acts on the body is equal to effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body. That is equal to V into rho L into G minus A. If the beaker is moving upwards or downwards with constant velocity, if beaker moving upwards or downwards with constant velocity, then A is equal to 0. In that case, buoyant force FB is equal to V into density of liquid into Z only. Already we know this concept. Already, while the beaker is moving upwards or upwards with certain acceleration, in such case, pressure at the top and bottom, already we derived the formulas. In that case, what is the pressure at the bottom? In that case, what is the pressure at the bottom? When the beaker is moving upwards with certain acceleration, in such case, what is the pressure at the bottom? P0 plus H into this depth, H into rho into G plus A. If it is moving down with acceleration A, G minus A we have to write. So from that pressure difference you take, and by taking the pressure difference, you find the force acts on the body. In that case, that is equal to weight of the liquid displaced by the body. Effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body, you will get like this. Okay. So buoyant force acts on a body is equal to effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body. Okay. Next. Here, this is about buoyant force. Suppose okay, this is example. Note point we have to discuss. Note points. Note point. This buoyancy concept is generally used to measure the weight of the elephant also. Mass of the elephant. Weight of the elephant means here mass of the elephant. Here actually first note point, to measure weight of elephant. Weight of an elephant. Actually, on the surface of the water in a lake, there is a wooden plank. A large wooden plank is there. A large wooden plank is there like this. Here it is the surface of the water. This is the surface of the water. It is the surface of the water. Okay. Now, it is the plank totally. It is the plank. Okay. It is the large wooden plank. Here mass of the plank is a small m. At first, whenever the plank is kept over the surface of the water, then H1, the plank submerges up to a depth of H1. Up to a depth of H1. In this case, you see, weight of the plank balances the buoyant force, no? In this case, weight of the plank, mg, as it is floating and it is under equilibrium, the weight of the plank is downwards and buoyant force upwards. As they are equal, the plank is under equilibrium. That's why weight mg is equal to buoyant force acts on the plank. What is the buoyant force acts on the plank? That is equal to FB. FB is equal to, in this case, suppose the area of cross section of the plank is say capital A into depth up to which the plank submerges is equal to H1. This area of cross section of the plank into depth up to which it is submerged, it is equal to volume of the liquid displaced into density of the liquid gives mass into Z, that is the weight of the liquid displaced. Okay, so this is equation 1. It is equation 1. Now the elephant is made to stand over this plank. Still it is submerges, but whatever the depth of the plank, is it submerges more, submerges to some more extent, or it is like this only? Whenever the elephant stands over the plank, in that case, is the plank submerges somewhat more or same? It submerges to some extent, no? So whenever elephant stands on the plank, in such case, so when elephant stands on the plank, of course you feel this as the elephant. When elephant stands on the plank, okay, so here when elephant stands on the plank, the depth up to which the plank submerges in the liquid, that is say H2. In this case it is still floating. Okay, that's why in this case the mass of the elephant is capital M, mass of the plank is small m. As it is floating under floating condition or under equilibrium, the weight of the this elephant and the plank balances the bind force acts on the plank. And the plank may the bind force upward direction of on the weight of the elephant and plank acts downwards direction. Still they are under equilibrium. That's why weight of the plank and by this elephant, that means mz plus small m into z. It is the weight of the elephant plus weight of the plank. That is equal to bind force acts on them. Bind force. So m plus small m into z is equal to bind force means area of cross section of the plank into the length of the plank, the thickness of the plank submerges is equal to H2. It is the volume of the liquid displaced into density of liquid into C. It is the weight of the liquid displaced. Okay, now we subtract them. Here, whenever elephant is there, the depth up to which the plank submerges is H2. Whenever elephant is not there, H1. The difference between them is equal to say Y. Y is the extra their depth up to the plank submerges because of this elephant stands over the plank. The plank మీద elephant లేనప్పుడు H1 distance submerge అయింది. Elephant ఉన్నప్పుడు H2 distance submerge అయింది. Because of this elephant standing over the plank, up to what further distance it submerges in the liquid, what further depth the plank submerges in the liquid means that is equal to H2 minus H1, which is equal to Y. Initial ga H1 depth submerge అయింది, ఇప్పుడు H2 depth. And because of this elephant, the extra depth submerges is equal to H2 minus H1. Okay, this is equation 2. Say this is equation 1. Okay, subtract this 2 minus 1 gives what? 2 minus 1. 2 means this one, AH2 rho L G minus here AH1 rho L G. AH1 rho L G is equal to AH2 rho L G means this one, capital M plus small m into Z minus AH1 rho L G means small mg. Okay, therefore A rho L G of H2 minus H1 is equal to small mg cancel, then capital M into Z. So A rho L Z into, it can be written as Y is equal to M into Z. This is very, very important formula. Already, whenever elephant is not there, the plank is under equilibrium because of this depth. But when elephant is standing on the plank, then the depth up to which the plank submerges is h2. So what is the extra depth up to which the plank submerges when elephant stands on them? That is equal to y. If you know y value, then the extra liquid displaced by the body, suppose this is equal to, say, this is equal to this part. This part is the extra part submerges, that is equal to y. So due to extra part submerged, whatever the buoyant force acts on the plank, that is equal to weight of the elephant. You see, A into Y, that is the extra volume of the liquid displaced. Okay, into density of liquid gives extra mass of the liquid displaced, into G gives extra weight of the liquid displaced. Okay, that is equal to weight of the elephant alone. Okay, so by this concept, we can find the mass of the elephant there. So this method generally used to find the mass of the elephant, because there are no simple balances, etc., for measuring the weight of the mass of the this elephant, etc. That's why they use this method. By using this buoyant force concept, we generally measure the mass of the elephant. Okay. Is video is clear or not? Is video is clear or not? You mentioned the remaining people, please respond. Next. Okay, for most of the people it is clear. Karthik, you check your system. For most of the students it is clear only. You please check. Here it is. I too joined in the Zoom only, Zoom app only. I'm getting clear only. Because of signal problem, there may be some blur in the image. Okay, just to switch off and switch on the system so that you may get clarity. You may get clear image. Okay, right now. Next, here. Next, one more note point. So in this case, what is the buoyant force acts on a body? Tell me. When the body is submerged in a liquid here and the beaker is moving upwards with certain acceleration, density of liquid is rho L. Now tell me, what is the buoyant force acts on the body? Already I said just now. What is the buoyant force acts on the body? Yes. Here, if the volume of the body is V, then volume of the liquid displaced V into density of liquid into G plus A. That is the, as it is moving upwards, it is G plus A. It is the effective weight of the liquid displaced by the body when it is submerged fully. Suppose if it is submerged partially, in that case also formula is same, but V is the volume of the body submerged in the volume of the body submerged when the body is floating over the surface of liquid into G plus A. It is the effective weight. So from this, on what factors buoyant force depends? Buoyant force depends on volume of the body submerged in the liquid, V, that means volume of body submerges. If it is fully submerged in the liquid, then total volume of the body we have to write. If it is partially submerged, then volume of the body inside the liquid we have to write. So volume of the body submerged. Okay, next, rho L, we know density of liquid. So here density of liquid. So buoyant force depends on the volume of the body submerged, density of liquid, acceleration due to gravity at that place, and acceleration with which the beaker moving. These are the factors on which buoyant force depends. These are the factors on which buoyant force depends. Okay, next, one more example. Whenever the body is totally submerged in liquid, what is the effective weight of the body? What is the effective weight of the body? Third one, when body is totally submerged like this. Here the body is settled at the bottom. In this case, what is the total weight of the body? When body is submerged fully, comma, then effective weight of the body. Effective weight of body. W dash is equal to what? Here, whenever the body is submerged in the liquid totally, then weight of the body mg acts downwards and buoyant force acts upwards. Here, this beaker is at rest only, so no acceleration is there. In such case, weight mg minus buoyant force. Weight mg minus buoyant force. That is the effective weight of the body, which is equal to weight mg minus buoyant force means volume of the liquid displaced into density of liquid into z only, no? So mass means, of course, you take mg common. Mg of 1 minus volume of the liquid displaced density of liquid into g by weight mg. Of course, gg cancel. Therefore, this is equal to mg of 1 minus volume of the liquid displaced into density of liquid by mass means volume of the body into density of the body gives mass of the body. So VV cancel. Therefore, apparent weight or effective weight of the body when submerged in a liquid totally is equal to rho L by rho B. This is the effective weight of the body when completely submerged in a liquid. Next, fourth one. Suppose by means of a spring balance, one block is suspended. By means of a spring balance, a block of mass m is suspended. So in this case, weight of the body acts vertically down direction and spring force developed in the body, spring force developed in the spring acts on the body in upward direction. As it is under equilibrium, then spring force is equal to weight only, no? So under equilibrium, spring force is equal to weight mg, spring force. That is equal to weight of the body. Weight of body. That is a W1. That is equal to W1. So whenever the body is suspended in air, so whenever the weight of the body in air, whenever the body is suspended in air by means of a spring balance, then the weight of the body is equal to mg itself. Okay. So weight of the body W1 is equal to mg. This is equation 1. That is equal to spring force. Next. In the same, suppose it is A, next B. Suppose here the same body suspended by means of a spring and this body is allowed to submerge in a liquid. Here actually there is a beaker filled with water or something liquid, whatever it may be. It is kept on the weighing machine. It is kept on the weighing machine. It is kept on the weighing machine. The reading of the weighing machine. Okay, the reading of the here the weight of the pan is negligible, weight of the beaker is negligible. Weight of pan and beaker are negligible. Weight of the pan and beaker both are negligible. It is beaker, it is the pan, both are negligible. So whatever the reading shown by the weighing machine, that is the equal to weight of the water or liquid taken in the beaker. It is the weighing machine. Weighing machine. So in this case, the reading of the weighing machine is W2. W2 is equal to weight of the water. weight of the water. Okay, now here initially the block is floating over block is floating in the air now. At that time, weight of the block is equal to mg. Now this body is submerged in the liquid. Now the body is submerged in the liquid. Now the same body is kept submerged in the liquid, which is kept over the pan of the weighing machine. In that case, same pan, same liquid, same arrangement is there. Okay. The same body is submerged in a liquid, same liquid. Same liquid means the weight of liquid is equal to this only. Okay. In this case, of course, this beaker is kept over the pan of the weighing machine like this. Now the reading shown by the weighing machine is the reading shown by the spring balance is W3. Reading shown by the weighing machine is W4. What about W3 and W4? You tell me. What about W3 and W4? Tell me, anybody. What is W3? What is W3? Here, whenever this body is submerged in a liquid, then bind force acts on the body is equal to say FB. Bind force acts on the body is equal to FB. Okay. Here already weight of the liquid we know, that is W2, no? Weight of liquid is W2. Here whatever the net force acts on the body, net thrust acts on the body in upward direction when it is submerged, the same force acts, that is a action. Then the reaction force also acts on the beaker, that FB acts in downward direction. Okay, now W3 is equal to weight of the body when submerged in a liquid is equal to reading shown by the spring balance, that is equal to apparent weight of the body when submerged in a liquid. Apparent weight of the body when submerged in a liquid means weight mg of 1 minus density of liquid by density of the liquid by density of the body only, no? That mg means that is equal to, I think, W1. Previously we have taken that as W1, no? So W1 is equal to mg. That's why W1 into 1 minus density of liquid by density of the body. It is the reading W3. What about W4? Actually, whenever no body is submerged in a liquid, the weight of the liquid in the beaker is equal to, what is the value? W2. That is equal to W2. Okay, now, whenever the body is submerged in a liquid, then what is the weight of the reading shown here? W4 is equal to how much? Anybody else? Okay. Whenever this is not submerged in a liquid, in such case, weight W2 is there. Plus at the same time, whenever the body is submerged, then whatever the bind force acts on the body, that is the action acts on the body upwards, which is called thrust. At the same time, the bottom surface of the body also exerts the reaction force on the liquid in downwards direction. With that force, the liquid pushes the bottom surface of the beaker in downwards direction. That's why the weight of the water shown by the weighing machine here is equal to W4 is equal to actual weight of the liquid is equal to W2, and because of thrust, because of reaction force acts on the beaker due to liquid here, that bind force also acts on the beaker in downwards direction. That's why the total reading shown by the weighing machine is equal to W2 plus FB. Okay, this is important. This formula is important. Of course, this one we know. This is we know, but this is important. Okay. So this is one more example. So in this case, what is the reading shown by the weighing machine is equal to reading shown by the spring balance is equal to W3. Already I wrote here W1 of something, no? And weighing machine, this is the weighing machine. It is the spring balance. Spring balance. It is the weighing machine. Reading shown by weighing machine, it becomes W2 plus FB. FB is the buoyant force. FB is the buoyant force. FB, buoyancy or buoyant force, or thrust on the body. Okay, this is important one. Next, Archimedes principle. You see, buoyant force is equal to W1. No? Whenever the body is just suspended by means of a spring balance, then the reading shown by the spring balance is equal to W1. Already we have written now. Reading of the spring balance is equal to W1. That is equal to weight of the body itself. No? Weight of the body itself. Initially, here, in this case, you see, W3 is equal to mg minus this one we can write, or W3 is equal to, we can write W3 is equal to weight mg minus buoyant force, we can write, because weight mg acts downwards direction, buoyant force upwards. Okay, so in this in this case, buoyant force is equal to, we can write buoyant force is equal to mg minus W3. mg minus W3. Okay, you keep like this, it is enough. Next, Archimedes principle. Archimedes principle. Of course, whatever we discussed the buoyant force, that is only Archimedes principle. Archimedes principle. Archimedes principle. When the body is immersed in a fluid, totally or partially, it experiences an upward force equal to weight of the volume of the liquid displaced by the body. Archimedes principle means whenever the body is floating in a liquid, suppose here one body is floating in a liquid like this. This is the body. Okay, in this case, buoyant force acts on the body upwards and the weight of the body acts in downwards direction. No? So whenever the body is floating over the surface of liquid, in such case, the weight of the body is equal to weight of the liquid displaced by the body, which is equal to buoyant force. Okay, that is the Archimedes principle. So according to Archimedes principle, so here, according to this principle, when the body is fully or partially, when the body is fully or partially, submerged in a liquid, and is under equilibrium, You see, whenever the body is totally submerged in the liquid or partially submerged in the liquid, here partially submerged in the liquid, Okay, in this case, it is under equilibrium. So under equilibrium, the weight of the body is equal to buoyant force acts on the body, which is equal to weight of the liquid displaced. Weight of liquid displaced. Or effective weight of liquid displaced, we can write effective weight of liquid displaced. Okay, this is called as the Archimedes principle. So based on the Archimedes principle, some applications we have to discuss. So first one, relative density of the body. So what is the relative density of the body? Relative density of the body. Relative density of the body is equal to, generally, relative density of the body or specific gravity is equal to density of the body by density of the liquid. Density of the body by relative density of the body means density of the body by density of the liquid or density of the water we can take. If it is water, then that is called specific gravity. Okay, density of the body by density of liquid means we can write, you see, weight of the body by weight of the liquid displaced, we can write now. Weight of the body by weight of the liquid displaced. If you write, what is the ratio between weight of the body by weight of the liquid displaced? Weight of the body, here, weight of body by buoyant force Fb. Buoyant force Fb means weight of the liquid displaced. Okay, weight of the body by, what is the weight of the body? Tell me. Weight of the body is equal to mg. That is equal to volume of the body into density of the body, use mass of the body into z. Buoyant force or weight of the liquid displaced. Weight of liquid displaced. Weight of liquid displaced. Or buoyant force Fb is equal to volume of the liquid displaced into density of liquid into z. Okay, then you divide these two. mg by buoyant force is equal to, mg means v rho b z by Fb means v rho l z. So rho b by rho l, no? That's why the relative density is equal to rho b by rho l. This can be written as the weight of the body by the buoyant force acts on the body or weight of the liquid displaced by the body. That's why, therefore, relative density K is equal to density of the body by density of the liquid, we can write, or weight of the body by weight of liquid displaced, weight of liquid displaced, which is also equal to buoyant force whenever the body is under equilibrium. So this relation is important because you don't give this rho b rho l. They may give weight of the body in air and weight of the body, this weight of the liquid displaced by the body is also called as the apparent loss of weight when submerged in a liquid. Apparent loss of weight. Because whenever the body is submerged in a liquid like this, then the apparent loss of the weight of the body is equal to buoyant force. ఎంత buoyant force అయితే పనిచేస్తుందో అంత weight loss అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి apparent loss of weight in liquid, that is also equal to buoyant force only. So in this way we can write. Okay, next, this is also equal to weight of the body by loss of weight of the body in water. Already I wrote. How we can write the loss of the weight of the body in water? Weight of the body by weight of the body in air. Weight of the body in air. Weight of the body in air లో నుంచి weight of the body in air దాంట్లో నుంచి మనం weight of the body in water సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ చేసాం అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు apparent loss of weight of the body in water వస్తుంది కదా, that is equal to buoyant force, no? కాబట్టి weight in air minus weight in water, weight of the body in water or liquid. Weight, you see here, weight in air is equal to mg minus weight in water means mg of 1 minus density of liquid by density of the body only, no? So mg minus plus mg into rho l by rho b. rho L by rho B. mg cancel. M means volume of the body into density of the body gives mass of the body into Z into rho L by rho B. Rho B cancel. So V rho L G. V rho L G means that is the weight of the liquid displaced, which is equal to buoyant force only, no? That's why this can be written as the weight of the body in air minus weight of the liquid, weight of the body in liquid, weight in liquid. Weight of the body in air by weight of the body in air minus weight of the body in liquid. Weight of the body in air minus weight of the body in liquid is equal to apparent loss of weight of the body, which is equal to buoyant force. That's why we can write this relative density like this also. We can write the relative density like this also. It is also important formula. So these are important formulas for relative density. Okay. Next. These are in our integrated material. We can see. Next. Okay, in this only second one. Volume of the cavity we need. Volume of the cavity. Suppose here whenever the body is kept submerged in a liquid, whenever the body is kept submerged in a liquid, if it is floating, in such case, you see, suppose here there is a body with some cavity. Here it is the cavity. Okay, it is submerged in a liquid. Just it is floating by submerging in the liquid like this. No doubt in this case, buoyant force Fb acts vertical upward direction and weight mg acts downwards direction. Under equilibrium, already we did the problem based on this. Under equilibrium, weight mg is equal to buoyant force. Weight mg is equal to buoyant force. But here there is a cavity. There is a cavity inside the sphere, metal sphere. In this case, what is the volume of the cavity, they may ask. Already did the problems also, I think. All these are important for this week. Okay. So here, what is the mass of the body? What is the, here, whenever the sphere is metal sphere, it is a metal sphere. It is a metal sphere with cavity. Okay. Whenever the metal sphere is under equilibrium by submerging inside the liquid, in such case, definitely weight balances the buoyant force. When weight balances the buoyant force, in such case, buoyant force is equal to weight of the body. Buoyant force is equal to weight of the body. So that implies here, what is the buoyant, here mass of the sphere can be written as, mass of the sphere can be written as volume of material of the sphere. You see, mass of the sphere means volume of material of the sphere means this volume. We should not consider the cavity volume. Volume of the cavity is say Vc. Volume of the cavity is say Vc. Okay. Volume of the material of the sphere is say V. Then total volume of sphere. Total volume of sphere is equal to V plus Vc, no? So in this case, mass of the sphere means volume of the material of the sphere V into density of the body or density of the sphere rho B gives mass of the sphere into C, that is equal to buoyant force Fb. So from this volume of the material of the sphere, volume of material of the sphere, comma, V is equal to, we can write Fb by rho B is, you know, Fb by rho B into G, where density of the body is rho B, density of the water rho W. Okay. Now, what about the buoyant force? What is the buoyant force? Buoyant force means we can write buoyant force is equal to weight of the body in air minus weight of the body in liquid. That gives apparent class of weight. Weight of the body in water. That gives apparent class of weight. Apparent class of weight is equal to buoyant force. Just we proved before this topic. Just we proved them by density of the body minus g. So weight of weight of the body in air. How we can write the weight of the body in air? So here, from this formula, we need the volume of the cavity. We need the volume of the cavity. How we can do cross multiplication? Volume of the material of the sphere into density of the body rho b into z, into z is equal to weight of the body in air. Weight of the body in air means, how we can write? Weight of the body in air means mg only, no? Weight of the body in air means mg only. Weight of the body in water is equal to mg of 1 minus density of liquid by density of the water by density of the body. We can write like this. Here now, what about the volume of the cavity? How we can find? Here only you directly write like this. Okay. You do cross multiplication. Weight of the buoyant force means, you see, buoyant force means volume of the liquid displaced by the body. Whenever it is totally submerged, volume of the liquid displaced is equal to V plus Vc only. Okay, that's why V plus Vc. Volume of the liquid displaced into density of liquid into Z. Okay, here GZ cancel. Then V plus Vc by V is equal to density of the body by density of liquid. Split them. That implies 1 plus Vc by V is equal to rho b by rho L. Or Vc by V is equal to 1 minus rho b by rho L. 1 minus rho b by rho L implies volume of the cavity is equal to volume of material of the body into 1 minus density of the body by density of the liquid. If it is water, density of the water we have to write. If it is water, we have to write density of the water. Or volume of the cavity. Volume of cavity. Vc is equal to volume of material of the body into 1 minus density of the body by density of liquid. We can write like this. Here, total volume of the sphere is equal to V naught. We can write total volume of the sphere. That can be written as V naught. So this is also important one. Here, volume of material of the body. Okay, suppose if you are not given volume of the material of the body, total volume of the sphere is given, but V is not given. How we can write? Volume of the cavity is equal to volume of the material of the body is equal to V naught minus Vc. We can write, no? V naught minus Vc is equal to V. Okay, into 1 minus density of the body by density of the liquid or density of the water. Okay, from this, we need Vc. How we can write Vc? Vc, you see, V naught into this one minus Vc into this one. You bring this minus Vc into something to left, then plus Vc into something you will get. Plus Vc into 1 minus density of the body by density of liquid is equal to V naught into 1 minus density of the body by density of the liquid. Vc you take common here. Vc you take common. Then when you take Vc common, 1 plus 1, 2 into 2 minus rho b by rho L into is equal to V naught into something. So by this we can find the density of the liquid. That implies Vc you take common. Vc plus Vc minus rho b by rho L. That's why when you take Vc common, 2 minus rho b by rho L is equal to V naught into 1 minus rho b by rho L. So from this Vc can be calculated. Volume of the cavity can be calculated. Okay. Based on this, we have to find the volume of the cavity. Next, principle of flotation. This condition is satisfied only when the body is full. Yeah, weight of the body means whenever the body is totally submerged in the liquid. In that case, we can use this formula. In that case, we can use this formula because in this here it is floating. That means it is not submerged. It is just floating. Floating means it is under equilibrium. Under equilibrium, we can write like this. Under equilibrium, we can write weight of the body is equal to weight of the liquid displaced by the body or buoyant force. Yeah, it is complete. Whenever the body is completely submerged, in such case, we can write. What is V minus rho B by rho L? V minus rho, V into 1 minus rho B by rho L means already, you see, weight of the body in air minus weight of the body in water. Okay, we got this one now. V rho B Z, just I did cross multiplication. V rho B Z is equal to V plus VC into rho L into Z. Because weight of the body in air minus weight of the body in water, that is equal to buoyant force. Buoyant force is equal to volume of the liquid displaced into density of the liquid into G. No? Volume of the liquid displaced means the total volume of the sphere, whatever it, total volume of the sphere, that amount of volume of the water is displaced. That's why total volume of the water displaced is equal to V plus VC. So V plus VC into density of the liquid or density of the water into G. GZ cancel. Just by cross multiplication, I got VC is equal to V into 1 minus density of liquid by density of the body by density of the liquid. Okay. 1 minus rho B. We did not get like that. Okay. Here we see. Here. When you simplify them, what you will get? Okay. Very good. VC by V is equal to rho B by rho L minus 1 you will get. Implies, very good. VC is equal to V of density of body by density of liquid minus 1. Okay. This is the volume of the cavity. Suppose if you are given volume, entire volume of the sphere is V0. If outer volume of sphere is equal to V0, which is equal to V plus VC, then instead of V, we can write VC is equal to V means V0 minus VC into density of body by density of liquid minus 1. We can use this formula also to find VC. VC means volume of the cavity. That is very, very important. VC, volume of cavity. Okay. Right. Okay, next, principle of flotation. Principle of flotation. Principle of flotation. So whenever the body is floating over the surface of the liquid, suppose you see, here one body is floating over the surface of liquid. In this case, first one. So no doubt first we know weight of the body is equal to buoyant force as it is floating. So first, according to principle of flotation, weight of the body is equal to buoyant force. That means FB is equal to weight of the body mg. That already we know. Next one. the line of action of weight of the body and bind force must lie in the same vertical line. Whenever the body is under equilibrium, okay, all of you see the diagram here. Whenever the body is under equilibrium, in this case, suppose the body is floating like this. Whenever the body is floating by submerging a part of it inside the liquid, in this case, whenever it is floating, here you see, up to this part, it is submerged in a liquid. So, in the part of the body submerged in a liquid, the center of the symmetry is this one. So, this is the center of buoyancy. It is called center of buoyancy. Center of buoyancy. Okay. And center of gravity. Center of gravity means for the entire body, the symmetric point is here. This is called center of gravity. It is the center of buoyancy. It is the center of gravity. So this is center of gravity. Whenever the body is floating over the surface of liquid, in such case, the center of gravity and center of buoyancy both lies on the same line. Otherwise, the body never be under equilibrium, because torque due to buoyant force and torque due to weight must lie on the same line. Then only there is a net torque 0, so that it is under equilibrium. Otherwise, if it is at certain inclination, definitely some torque acts. That's why here center of gravity and center of buoyancy both lies on the same line whenever the block is under equilibrium. So the line of action of weight of the body and the buoyant force must lie in the same vertical line, so that their moment of force about any point is 0. So here, when the body is under equilibrium, the body floating is under equilibrium. The body floating is under equilibrium. Then the line of action of weight of the body and buoyant force. The line of action of weight. The line of action of the weight of body at center of gravity and the buoyant force. Buoyant force acts at center of buoyancy CB lies on the same line. So when the body floating is under equilibrium, then the line of action of weight of the body and buoyant force must lie in the same vertical line. Must lie in same vertical line. That is important. Must lie on same vertical line, so that their moment about any point is 0. Okay, that is also important one. Next, in this there are 3 cases. First one, if the weight of the body is greater than buoyant force. If the weight of the body is greater than buoyant force, so buoyant force is acting on the body in vertically upward direction, FB, and weight of the body downwards direction, W. Okay, if weight of the body is greater than buoyant force, weight of the body is greater than buoyant force. In this case, okay, the net force acts on the body in downwards direction, which is equal to, here, if weight of the body is greater than buoyant force, in this case, the net weight of the body is downwards direction only. Net weight, that is called apparent weight of the body. Net weight of the body is equal to W minus FB. That is downwards direction only. That is downwards direction only. In this case, it is possible whenever the density of the body greater than density of the liquid. In this case, density of the body is greater than density of the liquid. It is positive only. Positive means net weight of the body is equal to apparent weight, which is equal to weight mg into 1 minus density of liquid. Density of liquid by density of the body only, no? As it is greater than 1, definitely, as it is greater than 1, definitely density of the body greater than density of the liquid. Density of the body greater than density of the liquid. This positive vachindante rho b minus rho L by rho b. That is positive means rho b greater than rho L, no? So apparent weight of the body, whenever the weight of the body greater than weight of the buoyant force acts on a body, in that case, density of the body must be greater than density of the liquid. Second one, B. when weight of the body is equal to buoyant force, when weight of the body is equal to buoyant force, when weight is equal to buoyant force, in this case, the body just submerges in the liquid. The body just submerges in the liquid. When the weight of the body is equal to buoyant force, in that case, the body just submerges. When the weight of the body is equal to buoyant force acts on a body, in that case, the body just submerges. Okay. So the weight of the body is equal to buoyant force. In that case, the body just submerges in the liquid. Just submerges means, you see, the upper surface of the body coincides with the surface of the liquid in the beaker. It is the case whenever weight of the body is equal to buoyant force. Suppose if, see, when weight of the body is less than buoyant force, when weight of the body is less than buoyant force, in this case, the body, in this case, the buoyant force and weight both are equal and they are balancing. In this case, the density of the body is less than density of the liquid. In such case only, the body is floating over the surface of the liquid. That means this is the case. In this case, the density of the body is less than density of the liquid. In such case only, the body is floating. If they are equal, just it is submerged. If density of the body greater than density of liquid, it settles at the bottom. It settles at the bottom. Okay, these are the cases. Already I said fraction of volume of the body submerged when it is floating. That means it is the case. Here in this case, the body is floating over the surface of the liquid, no? So whenever the weight of the body is less than buoyant force, or density of the, in this case, density of the body less than density of the liquid. In this case, here we see the volume of the body inside the liquid is this one. Volume of the body inside the liquid is V in. It is V out. Okay. So total volume of the body, total volume of body is equal to V naught plus Vi. That is the total volume. Okay, now in this case, as it is floating, already I said, I think, whenever it is floating, the weight mg is equal to buoyant force Fb. Weight mg means total volume V naught plus Vi into density of the body into Z. Buoyant force means volume of the liquid displaced is equal to, volume of the liquid displaced means that is equal to volume of the body inside the liquid, V in into density of liquid into Z. Gz cancel. Okay, from this, V naught plus Vi by Vi is equal to density of liquid by density of the body. So that implies when you split them, V naught by Vi plus 1 is equal to rho L by rho B. Then, in this case, what is the fraction of volume of the body inside the liquid? Or fraction of volume of the body submerged in a liquid? So in this case, V naught by Vi is equal to density of liquid by density of the body minus 1. Or here they ask the fraction of volume of the body inside the liquid. Total volume V is equal to, total volume V is equal to V naught plus Vi. Okay, that is equal to fraction of volume of the body inside the liquid means Vi by V we had to find. Vi by V we had to find. Fraction of volume of body inside the liquid is equal to volume of the body inside the liquid by volume of the total volume of the body. So that implies Vi by V is equal to Vi by V. Here Vi means how we can write? Vi means V minus V naught. V minus V naught. V minus V naught by V. That is equal to 1 minus V naught by V, no? 1 minus V naught by V. How we can write? Tell me. How you can write? Vi is already there. That is equal to V naught can be written as V minus Vi by Vi. When you split them, V by Vi minus 1. Okay, therefore, Vi, that implies V by Vi is equal to rho L by rho B plus 1. Okay, or Vi by V is equal to 1 by rho L by rho B plus 1. That is equal to rho B by rho L plus rho B. This is the fraction of volume of the body submerged in the liquid. Percentage means percentage of volume of the body submerged inside the liquid is equal to into 100 we have tried. Similarly, fraction of volume of body outside the liquid, outside, is equal to V naught by V. Volume of the body outside is V naught, total volume V. So fraction of volume of the body outside the liquid when it is floating is equal to V naught by V. That is equal to question mark. V naught by V is equal to, V naught can be written as V minus Vi. V naught can be written as V minus Vi by V. That is equal to 1 minus Vi by V. 1 minus Vi by V means, Vi by V means this only, no? So rho B by rho B plus rho L. When you take LCM, you will get rho L by rho B plus rho L. So therefore, fraction of volume of the body outside the liquid is equal to density of liquid by density of body plus density of liquid. It is the fraction of volume of the body outside. Fraction of volume of the body inside means density of the body by density of body plus density of liquid. Percentage means into 100 we have to write. Okay. These are the different cases. Now, equilibrium of a submerged body. Equilibrium of a submerged body. What should pick? What is our doubt? Bottom step in right side. I erase it now. Equilibrium of a submerged body. Equilibrium of a submerged body. So when a body is completely submerged in a liquid, there are two forces acts, buoyant force and weight of the body acts. Whenever the body is completely submerged in a liquid, there are two forces. One, weight of the body acts vertically downwards direction, and buoyant force acts on the body vertically upward direction. So when it is under the, here, stable equilibrium, unstable equilibrium, and neutral equilibrium, when it is possible. Okay. If the center of buoyancy is above center of gravity, the body will be under stable equilibrium. The body will be under stable equilibrium. So whenever the body is under equilibrium, you see, for stable equilibrium, center of buoyancy is above center of gravity. Already I said the center of buoyancy is center of gravity. So in stable equilibrium, center of buoyancy is above center of gravity. Center of buoyancy is above the center of gravity. In such case, it is under stable equilibrium. It is under stable equilibrium. Okay. Unstable equilibrium. In unstable equilibrium, center of buoyancy is below center of gravity. It is in unstable equilibrium. Here next, C, normal equilibrium. In normal equilibrium, center of buoyancy coincides with center of gravity. So in stable equilibrium, center of buoyancy is above the center of gravity. In that case, it is under stable equilibrium. For example, here only I will explain. Suppose one plank is there. One plank is under equilibrium. One plank is under equilibrium. Okay, here center of gravity is here. Center of gravity is here. Okay. Center of buoyancy is above the center of gravity. Suppose here the mass of the body is more. Suppose if the center of gravity is here and center of buoyancy is here. In that case, it is under stable equilibrium. If the it is center of gravity and it is center of buoyancy and it is center of gravity. So whenever the center of gravity, here you see, it is center of buoyancy and it is center of gravity, say center of gravity. If the center of buoyancy is above the center of gravity, actually it is possible whenever the mass of the body is more at the bottom. That means the body is not uniform. In such case, if the more mass is here, whenever the more mass is here, in that case, center of gravity is nearer to this edge. In such case, center of buoyancy is above the center of gravity. In that case, it is under stable equilibrium. Okay, unstable equilibrium means in this case, center of buoyancy is below the center of gravity. Suppose here liquid is there up to this. Center of gravity is exactly at the midpoint. Center of gravity is exactly at the midpoint. Center of buoyancy means here you see, this is the length of the body submerged. Exactly, center of the body submerged in the liquid is equal to this one. This is the center of buoyancy. Center of buoyancy is below the center of gravity. It is in unstable equilibrium. Okay, if the body just submerges in the liquid, if the body just submerges in the liquid like this, in this case, the center of gravity and center of buoyancy both are same. Center of gravity, center of buoyancy both lies at the same point. They are coincided. In this case, it is under normal equilibrium or neutral equilibrium. So these are the different cases. Okay. Okay, now, okay, one in advanced paper, based on this concept, one problem is given. I will discuss that example. Last point. One example. Here, ice block is kept over the surface of the liquid. Ice block is kept over the surface of the liquid. Ice block is kept over the surface of the liquid. In that case, the height of the ice block submerges in the liquid is small h, and height of liquid in the beaker is capital H. Okay. Whenever ice block completely submerged, fused, that means whenever the ice is here, whenever the ice is not converted into water, in that case, small h height of the ice block is submerged in the liquid while it is floating. In such case, the height of the water in a beaker, it is the water. The height of the water in a beaker is capital H when it is floating. When this ice is completely fused into water, ఇది మొత్తం వాటర్ గా మారిపోయిన తర్వాత, వాట్ అబౌట్ ద హైట్ ఆఫ్ ది water level in the beaker? Is it more or less? Is it decrease or increase? Is it decrease or increase? Tell me. Whenever this ice block is completely submerged, is the height of the water is more or less? Actually, whenever ice block is not fused into water, whatever the weight of the ice block, that amount of water is displaced by the ice block. Okay, but whenever the here you see volume of the ice block inside the total volume of the ice block is V, and volume of the ice block inside the water, volume of ice block inside water is equal to this one. Volume of the ice block is capital V. Volume of ice block, capital V. When it is floating, definitely weight is equal to buoyant force. Am I right? Under equilibrium or under floating condition. When it is floating, when floating. Weight of the ice block means that implies volume of the ice block into density of the ice block gives mass of the ice block into Z. Buoyant force means volume of the ice block inside the liquid into density of the water into Z. GZ cancel. Okay, then here we see volume of the ice block is equal to volume inside the volume of the ice block inside the liquid into density of water by density of the ice. Is it more or less? Tell me. Is it more or less? Density of the water, density of the water greater than density of the ice, no? That's why it is greater than 1. It is greater than 1. That means volume of the ice block is greater than volume of the ice block. Volume of the ice submerged inside the liquid. Okay. Now, whenever it is totally submerged, whenever it is totally submerged, whenever it is totally fused, when ice block is fused into water, as the density of the water is more, you see, as the density of the water is more, when it is fused into water, that occupies small volume only. That occupies small volume only. That's why the water level falls. That's why H falls. When ice block is fused into water, then water level falls. Therefore, H value comes down. H value falls. H value decreases. Okay, this is the case. Okay, next in different cases we will discuss in next class. So based on this concept, you have to do the problems today. Okay, right. Have a nice day. I'm signing out. All of you revise this concept. Today I will send the notes also. You revise these formulas. And last week syllabus also you revise. Last week concepts and today's concepts. Okay, bye Nana, all of you. Anybody else having doubt? Bye all of you. Bye Nana.